So my real name is Ricardo Orlando Hernandez Gonzalez Gonzmart. That sounds Spanish. So I think that people think I'm not proud of being Hispanic. I am extremely proud.
I met Richard Gonzmart inside one of his world-famous establishments, the Columbia Restaurant. The historic Ybor City eatery opened in 1905, giving him his first job as a little boy.
I started learning to cook at 6 years old, and I started working at 12. My father wanted me to work in the dining room, not in the kitchen. But I said I was going to quit if he didn't let me wash dishes. It's my favorite job.
The Columbia is the oldest restaurant in Florida and the oldest Hispanic eatery in the country. And he's proud of the countless immigrants who've worked here to create a better life for themselves.
I see so many families that they came here, immigrated, wanting to work, provide, and their children went on to become doctors, attorneys, business leaders. And that's what this country is all about, giving that opportunity. And so I'm grateful for that.
As we toured the restaurant, Gonzmart talked about his family's legacy that goes back 4 generations.
This is my grandfather standing behind the bar in 1906. It's that hard work, dedication, that I have a responsibility to uphold his standard. I was 8 years old when he passed away, but I learned a lot from him.
He also feels that responsibility to honor his Hispanic heritage, as that's how he was raised by his parents, Cesar and Adela Gonzmart.
You know, my parents and grandparents would speak to me in Spanish, and my grandmother would read me a little book with a spider, araña, and I was probably 5, and I go back. I'm proud to be Hispanic, Cuban, Spanish, and it's important that we carry that on.
And he certainly carried that on in the culinary world. Under his direction, the 1905 family of restaurants now owns 7 Columbia locations: Casa Santo Stefano in Tampa, Cha-Cha Coconuts in Sarasota, 2 Eulalie restaurants on the Riverwalk and at Tampa International Airport, as well as Cafe Con Leche Ybor City and Goody Goody, both inside TPA.
This is the first air-conditioned dining room in the city of Tampa. There's a vase in the corner there. It was a present to my grandfather from the president of the Cuban Senate, 1946.
His family's extensive history showcased in every room.
This was the last dining room my dad and grandfather built, and the floor came out of Cuba in 1958.
Oh, wow.
Prior to Castro taking control. This is a portrait of my mom, painted by a very famous Cuban artist. She hated that painting, and she hung it upside down in her garage.
Gonzmart even got engaged to Melanie, his wife of 50 years, and had their wedding reception at the Columbia.
She said, I'm going to have dinner with my grandmother at that table over there. I sat here, she sat there, and 4 years later, I asked her to marry me at this table.
Walking through the kitchen, Gonzmart admits he still runs the place.
I come here at 7:30 in the morning. I come to meet the crew. I come to test the Cuban bread.
And he invests in his employees by treating them like family.
This gentleman's been with me 33 years. ¿Qué tal, tranquilo? Hola. 25 years, 28 years, 30-some years.
Wow.
2 months. No, I'm kidding. That's our head chef. So, you know, it's the people that make the restaurant.
Despite all his success, Gonzmart has had challenges, struggling to read and even concentrate for many years. Then at 43, he was finally diagnosed with ADHD, and it all made sense.
I can function on 5 different projects at one time. My wife says, I won't answer your question. It's because I went somewhere else. It's a roulette wheel on my brain. And there's days it's spinning so fast that I can't stop it, and that's the day that I can't function. It makes life exciting. It's not a disability.
His belief in God and prayer also keeps him grounded.
My faith is strong, and when I take my last breath, I will have done everything possible in this world to make it better for others, to have their families realize dreams.
Gonzmart was even honored by Pope Francis with the highest award in the Catholic Church, but remains humble.
I'm still trying to understand that with this medal. I'm nobody, I'm just a human being that's trying to make the world a better place. I'm not afraid to profess my faith, and I like to learn about faith. I respect all faiths. I respect no faith.
Gonzmart's family also taught him the importance of giving back to those less fortunate.
You know, I look at the history, back in the time of the Great Depression, I heard the stories of my grandfather business was struggling, but along with the Murray family, Segunda Central, and the Guayardo family from Florida, we were providing food for families that didn't have money with no expectation. And that's what you did.
Today, he continues that philanthropy, donating all proceeds from fundraisers to various organizations, including USF, Moffitt Cancer Center, and countless nonprofit groups throughout the Bay Area. His accolades are endless. He's been inducted into 6 Hall of Fames and received over 100 honors and awards. Oh my gosh. How many guitars do you have?
I don't know.
Our last stop, his office, with an enormous collection of rare signed guitars and memorabilia.
This is the
These
one.
just come in?
This one just came in. It's a beautiful guitar. Wow. Denny Zager.
And despite knowing how to play, he loves collecting even more.
This is Steely Dan. That's the Beach Boys.
Oh, wow.
Prince, Bonnie Raitt, Brian May, Springsteen, Santana, Tom Petty, Led Zeppelin.
In closing, he had some final thoughts in how he lives his life.
Embracing each day with gratitude, with passion, with kindness, with love, with faith, integrity, and purpose. And that's just the way I live my life. The day I don't, then it's not time to be here anymore.